Hi, this is Shauna from America's Grow Row Kitchen, and here we are with our November meal kit for our ComMITT Kit program with the Flemington Food Pantry, ShopRite, America's Grow Row, and Partners for Health. Today we're going to make chicken lettuce wraps, which is a really big hit in my house always. And we are going to use chicken thighs, which are going to marinate really quickly, brown rice, and we're going to make a salad with these cabbage that we're harvesting from America's Grow Row. This is our last crop of the 2020 season. Our cooler's filled with cabbage right now. We're really excited to share it with you. And so everybody here is talking about cabbage recipes. This cabbage salad we're going to make today is really versatile. We can change it up, and it's a good topping for these wraps. So the first thing I want to say is that we're going to make our brown rice. You each received a package of rice from ShopRite. Just follow the directions on the back and use whatever rice technique you like to use. Some people like to cook it in a microwave, some people like to saute it first and then boil it, and some people have a rice cooker or an Instant Pot or pressure cooker. Cook the rice however you like to cook it. So that's the first thing you want to get started. While the rice is cooking, you're going to make everything else, and hopefully if we time it right, when the rice is done, the rest of dinner will be ready. So the first thing, Okay, so our rice is cooking, really excited about that. And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna marinate our chicken thighs. We're gonna do a really quick, easy marinade, and I'm going to use soy sauce today. And you guys have gotten a little bit of soy sauce, onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, and a little bit of oil. This is where you can get really creative and create the chicken however you'd like. Any sort of combinations of spices that you enjoy, marinades, fresh citrus, fresh garlic, onions, go for it. But today we're going to do sort of like a slightly Asian combination of flavors with this soy sauce. So I'm going to open up the chicken. I just washed my hands. I like using tongs when I'm working with chicken because it just keeps my work area really clean. It keeps my hands clean. We have 4 chicken thighs in here, and I'm going to start with about a tablespoon of oil. So a little bit, this is going to help some of the seasoning stick to the chicken, and it's going to help us move the chicken around on our sheet pan when we're finished. And then I'm going to use about half a teaspoon of garlic powder. If you have fresh garlic, you can use that in addition or instead of. My daughter loves garlic, so she seasons broccoli with fresh garlic and with garlic powder, and then she puts it in a little container and writes Isabella on it. So go for it with the garlic. Same thing with the onion powder. You can use fresh onions if you want, or just about half a teaspoon of onion powder. And then for soy sauce, I'm going to add about a tablespoon. Soy sauce is salty, so we're not adding any other salt to this. If you and your family like food spicy, you can add, this is a great time to add hot sauce, like sriracha or Tabasco or any kind of hot sauce you like. And then I'm gonna add about a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I'm gonna mix it up so it's just kind of evenly coated. Let this sit for about 15 minutes. You can do this earlier in the day as well, or even the night before, and let it sit in the fridge. And so when you're ready to cook at dinner time, it'll be a little bit faster. I'll put this aside. So our chicken's been marinating for about 15-20 minutes, and I'm gonna take it out of the bowl. Just make sure I get all of as much marinade as possible on the chicken so I don't waste anything. And today I'm cooking on a foil-lined cookie tray, but you could do this in any oven-safe dish. So if you have a glass baking dish, you can do it in that. Like this skillet is good because it is all metal. There's no plastic on it at all, so it can go in and out of the oven. You could do it in that. But I'm doing it on a foil-lined sheet because I don't like doing a lot of dishes, and the foil-lined cooking sheet makes it a little bit cleaner of a job. So we're gonna get all that in, and we're going to put it into a 375-degree oven. 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how thick your chicken thighs are. If you are running short on time, you can take the chicken thighs, sear them on the stove here first, and then put them in the oven, or you can just cook them on the stove the whole time. I'm doing it this way because it's a little cleaner, it's a little simpler, and I like to have things working in the oven. Okay, our chicken is in the oven, our rice is cooked, and so now we're gonna move on to our salad. It's a crunchy cabbage salad that is gonna be really good on top of the lettuce wrap or on the side, depending on what you like. And I love making salads like this because they can last in the fridge for a few days, and you can mix them with other leftovers or serve them on the side of, like, if you have a sandwich for lunch, you can have it on the side. It's a good way to get ahead on your meal prep and use up all the vegetables in your fridge. So today we're gonna do cabbage, carrots, and peppers. And I'm gonna add scallions and some other herbs that we had at the farm. And I'm gonna also add peanuts today because we had them around, and peanuts are a great source of fiber and protein. And these are roasted and salted peanuts, so they're kind of crunchy, and they add a little bit of salt, which is nice. If you have any other nuts or seeds in your pantry, so sliced almonds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, those will all be really good here. If you like things spicy, you can add fresh jalapeno or any sort of pickled peppers if you'd like. This is a really versatile salad, and I would love to know what you like to add to your salads like this. So reach out to me at Shauna at America's Grow and let me know how this recipe worked for you and what substitutions you made. So we're gonna start here with the cabbage. Cabbage is great because it's really high in folate, high in fiber. It's really good for our digestive system, and it's good raw or cooked, which is a big plus for me. I like having anything in my pantry or in my fridge that can do a bunch of different things at once. So I've cut this cabbage in half. I've peeled out the outer leaves. So if you see this big guy here, you peel out these tough outer leaves until you get it to a tightly formed ball. And then cut it in half, and then I'm just going to make my bear claw to make sure that I take care of my other hand. I put it on the flat side so it doesn't rock, and I just cut through as thinly as possible. So it's almost like shredding the cabbage. And cabbage lasts for a really long time in the fridge. It's a great vegetable to have. Some of you are going to get really big cabbages from Grow because we have some monsters this year that we're really proud of. This recipe is going to take about half of a small or regular sized cabbage and probably about a quarter of the really big ones. But other things you can do with it is roast the cabbage until it's nice and sweet and caramelized. You can add it to stir fries, you can add it to soups. You can make cabbage rolls out of it, stuff it with some of the rice if you have some left over, some ground meat. And I'm sure some of you have really good ideas of what to do with a big head of cabbage, so I'd love to learn more about that as well. Here we go. Cut up as much or as little as you want. And I'm going to use a bell pepper today. I have a green bell pepper. We used bell peppers last month, so you will recognize hopefully the way I cut this. I cut off the 4 sides, and I cut off the end. And I take the seeds out. And then I'm gonna try to cut this like a similar size to the cabbage. I think that's the restaurant chef in me. You can cut it however you like. I like when things are all kind of the same thickness. It looks good and it's good for the texture. So I'm gonna do the pepper. You can add any kind of pepper you want. You could add celery to this. We're gonna add carrots. Cucumber would be really good in this too. So we have our pepper and our cabbage in here. If you have a cucumber in your box, you can peel that and add it to the salad as well. And then I'm going to show you a really cool way to cut up a carrot that a little kid can help you with, because you don't have to worry about knives. And it's just a vegetable peeler. So if you have a vegetable peeler at home, you can peel out the outside layers of the carrot if they're particularly dirty or bumpy. And then you can give your vegetable peeler to your kid. So my 6-year-old son would love this. My 4-year-old daughter could even do this. You just have them hold the end of the carrot and then go around with the vegetable peeler and peel ribbons of carrots directly into the bowl. So this is kind of a fun way to incorporate a vegetable that you might be really familiar with, but it'll just give it a slightly different texture and a different look, and it'll look really sort of like professional when you put the bowl of salad on the table for your family. Got it. Peppers, carrots, a cucumber, and I'm going to make a little dressing for it. So we have a lime in your box, and we are going to you're gonna roll it to get the juices flowing. And if you have a microplane or a small grater, it's really good to use the skin of this for extra flavor. This is true of all citrus. Actually, stop. So we're gonna take, first thing we're gonna do to build our wraps is get your head of iceberg lettuce, and you're going to take off any leaves that aren't really whole. And you can cut them up and add them to your salad, or you know, do something else with them. But we want leaves that, as much as possible, are kind of like this, because we're gonna wrap things in them. So I'm gonna take off a couple, and we're gonna wash them. Okay. So stop. Got our lettuce here. I'm gonna take a chicken thigh, and we're gonna take our knife and just cut it into strips. And you can tell it's cooked because it's white all the way through. Okay, and we have our rice. Spoon, sorry. Okay, so we're gonna fill our lettuce wraps with some rice. And you want to put a little less in here than you're tempted to, just so you can make sure you can wrap it up. Take some chicken, a few bites for each one. And you can either eat this on the side, the salad, or you can put it right on top, which I like to do. And then you're just gonna wrap it up. And so it's a nice little bite. So these are our chicken lettuce wraps for our November commit kit. I'm really interested to hear how it went cooking them. Let me know what you added, what you took away, what you liked, what you didn't like. The only other tip I have for you is if you don't want to eat chicken or meat, you can add any other meat that you've cooked. So this is a really good thing to use for leftovers too. We use that a lot in our house, where we'll roast pork chops or have a piece of steak or chicken, fish, shrimp, or even something like mushrooms or tofu if you don't eat meat. And you can just add them, wrap it up in a lettuce with some leftover rice and a salad. And it's a really quick and easy meal for your whole family. Thanks a lot. See you next month.